Disney's newest movie is out now based off their attraction Jungle Cruise, starring Dwayne Johnson, Emily Blunt, Jack Whitehall, Edgar Ramirez, Jesse Plemons, Veronica Falcon, and Paul Giamatti. The film is directed by Juan Collet-Serra, and this is the same director who's also working on a little known Dwayne Johnson film coming out soon titled Black Adam. And we'll have to see how much CGI is used in Black Adam, as it was used a lot in Jungle Cruise. That is one of my biggest problems with this movie, though. There's way too much CGI used. The CGI tiger looks really bad. All the animals, there's CGI monkeys that look bad. Just, I can't get over them using CGI instead of actual animals. I just groan every time I see a CG animal on the movie screen now. Please stop making all the animals in movies CG for my sake. They just rely on this too much these days. If a movie can use real animals, they should. Just CGI does save them money and the hassle, but every time I see a CG animal, it just looks so fake and results in me getting taken out of the movie and then just not caring about the scene I'm watching. Oh yeah, I guess I should explain the plot of Jungle Cruise real quick. Sorry for that rant back there of CGI animals. It's something that just gets to me sometimes. So if you've ever been on the ride at Disneyland, then you've already seen the first 10 minutes of this movie after the title intro plays, except for the fact that your skipper is Dwayne Johnson and not a cast member. And you're watching it on the big screen rather than being in person, but kind of tells the same jokes as a rock joke about granite, taking it for granted and all that, the backside of water, all that stuff is in this movie in the first 10 minutes after the title sequence. It's a nice scene, but it really wasn't needed and didn't give anything. I think the ride is actually better because you get new jokes every time. Now this movie's just not have the same jokes played over and over by Dwayne Johnson. But the story revolves around the hunt for this mysterious healing tree of life in the jungle, as Emily Blunt's character Lily gains the services of skipper Frank Wolf, played by Dwayne Johnson. Frank, Lily, and Lily's brother have to navigate the jungle, avoiding death from the environment while being chased by Imperial German, played by Jesse Plemons, who is trying to find the tree so the Germans can win the Great War. Just now thinking about this, Jungle Cruise is a less interesting Tomb Raider movie. It's just, and then Jungle Cruise was way too long. It was boring for a good portion of the movie, and I just didn't care about the story that much. Maybe I'm just biased towards Tomb Raider because I love all those movies and thought it's a better adventure movie, Tomb Raider is, than Jungle Cruise. What really dragged about this movie, though, was the relationship between Dwayne and Emily. They seemed to have no chemistry and I did not believe their characters' relationship at all. Then the side characters were over the top, way too over the top, actually. They should have just been toned down a little bit. And most particularly, Paul Giamatti's character felt so out of place in this. He was acting in a completely different movie, it felt like. But the villains were given a cool look. They looked badass. They were given little to do, but they looked cool. The villains kind of got the Pirates of the Caribbean makeover. All four of them looked cool and had their own special abilities. One had snakes coming out. The other was covered in honey and bees all around them. So it looked like the dead pirates and Pirates of the Caribbean. But the Pirates of the Caribbean still looked better with the use of CG than these. There's just a lot of moonlighting, used dark lighting, and you couldn't really see everything. Where Pirates of the Caribbean kind of used that blue hue of lighting, and it was better seeing, and you could see the CGI was better in Pirates than in this Jungle Cruise movie. At the beginning of the movie, there is another scene with at the docks. Is in every trailer, I believe. The scene felt like I was watching Waterworld at the Universal Studios, actually. And I really like Waterworld at Universal Studios, so I'm not complaining at all that this is in Jungle Cruise. Maybe Disney will create their own show at one of their parks like Waterworld. That would be cool with this Jungle Cruise set at the docks. But the scene just looked very rehearsed with the actors trying to hit their marks of the time explosions. It felt like they weren't comfortable, and it felt like I wasn't watching actors in the movie who were professionals. I was just watching stunt people do cool stuff in like the water world show. It wasn't, it should have been bigger and should have meant more and just been more exciting. Well, I think Jungle Cruise is probably the second movie based off a Disneyland attraction, but it's nowhere near as good as Pirates of the Caribbean movie. I don't think any other movies based off of attraction original like Disneyland ride. But Dwayne Johnson is not playing an iconic character like Johnny Depp with Captain Jack Sparrow, and that's what makes the Pirates of the Caribbean movie so great. Is that character, and this doesn't have a memorable character or character I cared about at all as much as I do Jack Sparrow. But I have to admit, I love all the pun jokes made in Jungle Cruise movie. That's a big part of this, and it's a big part of the attraction when you go on it at Disneyland. I laugh every time at the pun jokes and just love hearing them. The movie cannot get a good score just based off the pun jokes. So I'm gonna give Jungle Cruise a score of 37 out of 100. And just for fun, I'll just count down my top 5 favorite boat movies here to end this review video. So number 5 is Pirates of the Caribbean. The first one was it Curse of the Black Pearl. Number 4 is Captain Phillips. And number 3 is Jaws. And number 2, we have Titanic. And that number 1, my favorite boat movie or movie that takes place on a boat is Pirate Radio. This is a great soundtrack to that movie. Not many people have seen it, so if you haven't, go check it out. It's also called The Boat That Rocked, I think, in Europe. It had 2 kind of titles with it. But there you go. There's my top 5 favorite boat movies. I hope you enjoyed Jungle Cruise. If you saw it, let me know in the comments your thoughts on Jungle Cruise and rank your own top 5 movies of movies that take place on a boat in the comments below.